I got paid $3,200 last Tuesday. I was at my kid's soccer game. My phone was on silent, and I almost missed it because nobody told me this was even possible. I want to tell you something that took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out. Not because I wasn't smart enough. Not because I didn't work hard. I worked extremely hard, 50, sometimes 60 hours a week. I was the person who stayed late, who answered emails at 11 p.m., who genuinely believed that if I just gave more effort, more time, more loyalty, eventually the math would work in my favor. It never did. And the frustrating part? Nobody lied to me directly. Nobody sat me down and said, here's how to stay broke forever. It was quieter than that. It was just the way things were. You go to school, you get a job. You trade your Monday through Friday for a number that appears in your bank account every 2 weeks. You budget around that number. You build your entire life around that number. And somewhere along the way, you stop questioning whether the number itself is the problem. That's where I was stuck. And if you're watching this, there's a decent chance that's where you are too. So let me explain something that schools genuinely never taught us. And I'm not saying that to be dramatic. I mean it literally. There are two completely different ways money can move in your direction. The first way, you already know. You show up, you perform, someone evaluates that performance. They decide what it's worth. They pay you. You repeat this process until you retire or your body gives out. This is called earned income. It is the only model most people ever operate inside of. And here's the thing, it's not a bad model. It's just a limited model. Because the ceiling is locked, your income cannot grow faster than your available hours. And your available hours are fixed at 24 per day, same as everyone else. The second way, this is the one that changes everything. You build something once, a piece of content, a digital product, an investment, a system, and that thing continues delivering value after you've walked away from it. This is called leveraged income, and the reason it feels like a secret is because functionally it was kept from you, not through conspiracy, just through curriculum. Schools were designed to produce employees, not asset owners. There's a difference, a significant one. Now here's where most people get this completely wrong, and I want you to hear this clearly, because it cost me 2 years of wasted effort before I understood it. Passive income is not about doing nothing. I know that's what the ads suggest. The guy on the beach, the laptop lifestyle, the zero-effort fantasy. That's marketing. That's not reality. The reality is that leveraged income requires real work. It just requires you to do that work at a different point in time than when you receive the reward. The work happens first. The return comes later, sometimes much later, and that gap, that quiet, uncertain, invisible gap between effort and outcome is where almost everyone quits. Think about a YouTube video. Someone spends an afternoon recording it, a few more hours editing, maybe 6 to 8 hours total. That video goes up. And then, if it's the right topic, the right format, the right quality, that video generates ad revenue for 3 years. The creator isn't there. They're not thinking about it. They're living their life, but the system they built is still running, still delivering value to viewers, still converting that value into income. That's not magic, that's architecture. And this is where the psychology gets genuinely interesting. Because understanding this intellectually isn't the hard part. The hard part is something much more personal. Most of us grew up in environments where struggle meant virtue, where hustle was honorable, where rest made you feel guilty. And that's not a character flaw, that's cultural programming. Real, deep, inherited programming. So when someone tells you that you can earn money while you're not actively grinding for it, your brain doesn't say, great, let me explore that. Your brain says, that sounds wrong. That sounds lazy. That sounds like a scam. That's suspicion. It's not wisdom. It's conditioning. And it's the most expensive belief most people will ever hold. Because here's what actually happens when you build a leveraged income stream. The first 3 months feel like nothing. You're creating, building, investing, and the results are invisible. The silence feels like failure. Your brain is screaming at you to stop wasting time and go back to something that pays you now. And most people listen to that voice. They stop. They go back. And then they tell people, I tried that passive income thing. It doesn't work. But what they actually tried was the construction phase. They stopped before the building was finished, then looked at the unfinished building and said, see, it doesn't work. That's not a failed system. That's an abandoned one. There's a difference. Let me give you something concrete because I don't want this to stay abstract. There are 4 income models that regular people, not trust fund kids, not Silicon Valley insiders, regular people have used to build income that doesn't require their daily presence, constant monetization. YouTube, podcasts, newsletters. You build an audience around a topic you understand. The platform pays you based on views and engagement. The content you made 6 months ago still earns today. Digital products, ebooks, templates, courses, presets. You create something once. You sell it repeatedly. No inventory, no shipping, no customer service calls at 3 a.m. Someone buys it while you're asleep. The transaction is automated. The product is delivered automatically. Dividend investing. You buy fractional ownership of companies that share their profits with shareholders. Every quarter, money is deposited into your account. You didn't work for it that quarter. You worked for it when you made the original investment decision. The asset does the work now. Licensing and intellectual property. You create something, a design, a system, a piece of software, a piece of music, and you charge others for the right to use it. Every time they use it, you earn one creation. Ongoing return. None of these are get rich quick. All of them require real time, real consistency, and real patience. But every single one of them breaks the fundamental limitation of traded time income. They all separate when you work from when you earn. And that separation, once you experience it even once, changes how you think about everything. Here's what I want you to sit with before this ends. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not missing some genetic trait that other people have. The people who build these income systems are not a different species. They're just people who hit a moment, sometimes a desperate one, sometimes just a quiet Tuesday, where they decided to stop asking, how do I earn more per hour, and started asking, what can I build that earns without me? Those are not similar questions. They do not produce similar lives. The job is not the enemy. Work is not the enemy. The model is the limitation. And the moment you understand that the model is optional, not mandatory, not moral, not the only path, something shifts. A door you didn't know existed suddenly becomes visible. Most people will watch something like this, feel something real for about 48 hours, and then slowly return to the exact same routine, not because they're lazy, not because they don't care, but because changing a financial identity is uncomfortable. It requires tolerating uncertainty. It requires working without immediate proof that the work is paying off. But some people, a smaller group, will let this land differently. They'll pick one model. They'll start small. They'll stay consistent through the silence. And 12 months from now, they'll be the ones getting paid at a soccer game, phone on silent, wondering why nobody told them sooner. The only question that actually matters right now is which group you're choosing to be in.